meeting of March 3rd. And in doing so, I'm going to ask Councillor Richardson to speak for us.
In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge our meeting place. The City of Flin Council Chambers is situated on the ancestral lands of Treaty 5 territory. We would like to acknowledge that we also work in partnership with First Nations in Treaty 6 and 10 territories and the Red River Métis Nation.
Thank you. And while you're reading?
I have a reading confirming of the minutes, 10:01. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held February 17th, 2026 be adopted as received.
Seconder. Councillor Slip, all in favor? Thank you. Councillor Dallas Funk.
Thanks. Resolutions. Check schedule 10-02. Be it resolved that the accounts in the amount of $882,607.44 be approved for payment.
Seconder. Councillor Hanson, all in favor?
Myself, once again, financial contribution agreement, NCCCAE 10-03. Be it resolved that the financial contribution agreement between the City of Flin and the Government of Manitoba for the Central Canada Centre of Arts and Environment project be approved and that Mayor and Chief Administration Officer be authorized to sign the necessary documents.
Seconder. Councillor Richardson, all in favor?
Last one for me. Denier Beach donation 10-04. Be it resolved that the City of Flin make a donation to the Village of Denier Beach in the amount of $250 in lieu of flowers.
Seconder. Councillor Hanson again, all in favor?
Did you want to say something quickly
Well,
about that?
I could, I'll maybe wait till later, I'll say it now. We lost a good partner to work with for over the years, and Carl Lentowitz, we did, several of us went to his funeral to express our condolences. It's a sad thing that happened, but he's been a hard worker for his community, and he's worked alongside of our community for a long time. I can't think of too many events that I went to that I didn't have Carl next to me with his set of notes and reading. I never heard a thing he ever said because he spoke so quietly,
Yeah.
but I knew he was saying something good. So I always enjoyed his company, but he never took over a room being overly loud.
No,
Anyway,
he didn't.
So anyway, this was in lieu of flowers because they didn't want flowers, so
Yeah.
that's what the donation is for. Councillor Hanson.
Flin Ladies Bonspiel donation, 10:05. Be it resolved that the City of Flin makes an in-kind donation to the Flin Ladies Bonspiel.
Seconder. Councillor Lidwin. All in favor? Okay. Councillor Hanson again.
Municipal funding application, Flin Kidney Club. Be it resolved that the City of Flin approve the municipal funding application towards the Flin Kidney Club's trivia night as an in-kind donation for the use of the community hall.
I need a seconder for that. Councillor Dallas Funk. All in favor? Okay. And Councillor Hanson one more time, I think.
Municipal
Is that?
funding application,
Yes.
Flin Junior Bombers. Be it resolved that the City of Flin approve the municipal funding application towards the Flin Bombers Hockey Night in the North in the amount of $1,000 be approved.
I'll take Councillor Richardson for seconder. All in favor? Good. Councillor Lippman. Yeah, I was just, sorry, I was looking for your name on that one.
No problem. Resolution 10-08, that's the tax service. Be it resolved that tax service on behalf of the City of Flin be authorized to proceed under the Tax Enforcement Act to acquire the title for the following described land: Lot 5, Block Parcel 410, Plan CW5336, Extension 01177254485.
Seconder. Councillor Slip. All in favor? Okay.
One more resolution, 10-09, be it resolved that policy number 6.15 passed on January 6, 2026 be repealed, and the updated policy number 6.15, accessible customer service attached hereto, be approved.
Seconder. Councillor Hanson. All in favor? And Councillor Slip.
Yes, sir. 2025-2027 Whitney Forum Concession Amendment Agreement. 1010. Be it resolved that the amendment agreement between the City of Flin Flon and Quick Crave Corner Marina Mitchell for operation of the concession at the Whitney Forum be ratified and approved for signature by the proper officers of the City of Flin Flon.
Seconder, Councillor Richardson, all in favor? Okay. Which takes us to Councillor Slip again.
I hope I get this right. Tender janitorial service, Rick Amunda, resolution 10-11. Whereas the City of Flin Flon did call for tenders for janitorial services for the Flin Flon Airport Terminal Building and Channing Warehouse. Therefore, be it resolved that Marianne Rickamunda be awarded for janitorial services and the Mayor and Chief Administrative Officer authorized to sign the necessary documents be approved.
Seconder, Councillor Dallas Funk, all in favor? Okay. Councillor Richardson.
Animal Control Report 10-12. Be it resolved that the Animal Control Report for the dates of January 16th, 2026 to February 15th, 2026 be received and filed.
Seconder, Councillor Slip, all in favor?
And I have a second one, Your Worship.
Yes.
2026 Calm Air Agreements 10-13. Be it resolved that the agreements between the City of Flin Flon and Calm Air International Limited for baggage handling and the air terminal rental be ratified and approved for signature by the proper officers of the City of Flin Flon.
Seconder, Councillor Hanson, all in favor? Did anybody want to make a mention about the visit we had this week, or just do that tonight? Can do that on the radio tomorrow?
Oh, I was just gonna say, what visit? But we did have a really good visit. We met with Minister Simard and Michael Kelly from his office on Thursday and then also Friday, and we did a day tour, which was really great. We talked quite a bit about the large projects that we're wanting to do in Flin Flon and about funding and applications that we want to put forth for that. So we talked about waterworks and the last of Main Street upgrade. There's one section there, and we talked about the ice plant at the Whitney Forum during the tour there. We talked about the lift station for Uptown number 3 that definitely needs an upgrade, and that's a $1.2 million upgrade for that station. Did you want to add anything else?
No, just that it was nice they came up to
Yeah.
to officially present, the money was there already, but to officially present that 2.4 million for the pool and the $500,000 towards the NCCAE. So it was one of those good trips, and it was nice to see somebody taking a personal interest in our community. He had family here as he was growing up, so came up for a few weeks every summer.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of a back home week for that minister, which is good for us because he has some feelings for our community. I just wanted to mention that. Other than that, I'm ready for adjournment.
And he wore his Flin Flon bomber jersey the whole time.
He
did. Oh, and then we did a tour of the snow lodge as well. But yeah, it's always nice when they come and see. It's hard to really advocate for your community if people don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
A perfect example was the Flin Flon, Saskatchewan area. So the homeowners tax credit, us lobbying as a municipality for people to be included in that, and them not really understanding that they really are within our municipality. So we made sure that there was a little tour so they could see how connected that Saskatchewan side is to us. So I think they got the picture and the idea of how could you exclude them from Flin Flon. So that was good.
Throw them right through.
Yeah.
So anytime, I'm going to mention this, anytime that we can get a cabinet minister or an MLA to come to our community and actually see how we live, because we're very proud of it, and then get a feel for what it is when we're asking them for something. It's not pie in the sky, it's things we need. So when they understand it, it's really a whole lot easier to advocate for more money for our community. So that's what I was suggesting. I wanted people to understand how important it is when we can get them up here like that.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'll adjourn and ask for questions. Okay, adjournment?
So who's the other person that came up with Smart, so I didn't catch the other name?
Michael Kelly.
Michael Kelly?
Yeah, it's part of his staff.
And what's,
He is part of
That's
his
his
staff.
assistant.
Assistant.
okay,
It's-
staff. It's his title.
okay, so Michael Kelly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got some other questions lined up here today.
Let me ask one question first.
Okay, go ahead.
You mentioned that you talked to him about some main projects, waterworks, Main Street upgrade, ice plant, and something else.
Number 3 lift station. across from the Flin Flon Hotel,
Okay,
which is a big project.
sweet.
That's okay, no problem.
And the tax credit. I guess that's not a big project, but it is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, I mean, I think it worked out to, what, Joy, 70,000, 79,000? But, you know, to each individual, up to 1,500 is a lot, you're right, Mike, yeah.
Yes,
All right, so there's $50,000, or there's $500,000 towards this North Central Canada Center of the Arts and Environment. What is this? What is this all about?
the concept is both an educational and a cultural center that we're hoping to at some time get involved in, which would be a multi-million-dollar addition to our community.
So
which
you're gonna
would-
build a building and everything,
No,
right?
not out of this $500,000. This $500,000 is just looking to see, it's basically to do a feasibility study and to see whether it's something we can go forward with. It is not construction money, don't expect to see a project from it. The government gave this to us to see whether this project, which we're pitching the idea of, which encompasses both cultural, educational, and trade, that sort of thing, it does all those, and it would involve some buildings eventually if it goes ahead. But it's basically looking at the concept and seeing whether it's viable for our area, whether it's viable for the north, because it's something not just for us, but we hope to have it located here, and then whether we can go ahead. So basically it was seed money for us to see if this can go further, because it's that kind of an idea.
So it's basically a feasibility study for a concept for an education and cultural center to see if this is actually viable for the north.
Yep,
Okay. I just kind of want to have a background, it's the first I've heard of it, so.
sure.
Okay. A couple other questions I have here. These in-kinds, like, what did you give the Ladies Bonspiel Kin Club? Like, is it, what did you
Ladies
give them?
Bonspiel would be money, wouldn't it? But it wasn't.
It
no-
says
No, it was
Oh,
swag,
sorry,
it was a prize, so.
Merchandise.
Merch.
that one was
City
done.
of merchandise.
Merch.
And the community hall.
The second one-
Oh, so you donated the community hall then?
Yeah.
Okay. With it being a service group, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
The money goes back in the community, so it's pretty hard to make money when you have to pay to get a place.
Okay. Another question I have, this 100th anniversary celebration, is there like some stuff kind of rolling in? I'm assuming that there is, like, from the city standpoint, what's happening now to get ready for this 100th celebration?
Well, it's in the hands of a committee, and the committee's gonna tell us what they need our help for. We'll see what we
What's the
can,
committee called, do you know?
100th anniversary committee.
Okay.
I think it's Flin Flon 27.
It is fun.
It has the number 27 on it for sure, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of different stakeholders at that table. So there's a representative from the Bombers, there's
Yeah.
somebody there from Hud Bay, there's somebody there from the city, there's
Indigenous
So
component.
who's
Yeah.
representative from the city?
Crystal sits on that, Kate Bailey's there, I'm invited to those meetings.
Have you been
Anybody's
to,
invited,
have you
really.
been to the meetings, Allison? Allison, have you been to the meetings?
No, I just read all the minutes so far.
Oh, okay. What,
Yeah.
can you give me kind of a lowdown on what they've been discussing, or?
I have been to some of them, but the last meeting, which I was not at, but I've been told was they finally got a logo, so that they're
Yeah.
gonna put that forward to present. What they're discussing is how many events they can coordinate together for one thing, but over the course of the year. So not all things that are gonna happen on a weekend.
Right.
They're trying to get together so that the Bombers do the same thing as a reunion, that kind of thing. So they're working towards melding as much of it as they can together. I think the beginning of July is gonna be a big deal. They're
Okay.
getting a lot of response now that they're starting to put stuff out there from a lot of people thinking that this might be another one of those big jamboree type reunions that we have. They're looking at tours that they'll do, they're looking at big parties, like we always have big parties. And they're also looking at a potential Indigenous component.
Yeah.
Where we would have some of our a reconciliation of some of the people who's, like, we're on Treaty 5 and bring together some of those Treaty 5 people here. So we're looking at a potential of having a group come in and stay together like that. So what else? The Bombers have their own festivities that they're planning. So there'll be, like, what would I say? What am I missing here? There's a lot
The
of,
Well, it's
theater, the choir.
that's right, the
Yeah.
choir's
Oh,
involved.
Bombertown.
I
They're
think
talking about
Bombertown has
doing- they're talking about
potential to
doing
run
that.
again.
Yeah.
And that's a Flin Flon community choir that does that, right?
Diane sits on that board as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Diane, and I think the dates that they have for the main component of it is July 1st to July 4th.
Okay, so it's gonna start things off in July and just kind of do events throughout the year then?
Well, it might even start before July, because
Yeah.
if it's in that year and there's things that are happening, you know,
Yeah.
they'll do some winter activities too.
Okay, so that's, I'll just say they're gonna space events out throughout
Of
the year
course,
then.
right over
I'll
the
just
year.
be on the safe side of everything. And I just got a couple other quick questions here. You mentioned this ice plant. What's going on with the ice plant? Do they need a new one there? Is that the deal, or?
Well, Kate and Mike would be the best people to talk about that, but it definitely needs an upgrade. I know they started looking at it in 2023. It is a huge project though.
Sure, yeah.
Not only just financially, time-wise, with a lot of planning that needs to be taken in place, right? You essentially, it will take like 3 months to do that. So it would be installing a brand new ice plant. I think it is up in the millions.
Way up in the millions.
So we're in the process. As everybody can see from some of the pictures that we posted, our aqua center is almost
Yeah.
complete and we're super excited about that. So I believe that the city will start focusing on the Whitney Farm as doing rehab and our next recreation large project. So that's one of the things that they're looking at.
Okay.
And what happens over the next few years is gonna be highly dependent on what grants are available.
Sure.
Through, the different levels of government, because we don't have the money to just out and out do all that stuff.
No, I understand that. So the last question I have again is from just somebody that approached me on the street. Has there ever been any talk about this old extra foods building? And like, is it anything ever gonna happen with that property?
We've actually had people sniffing at it over the last few years, over the last year as a matter of fact, but looking at whether it's viable and feasible to do. So where that's gone up at this point, we don't know, but it's not, there is conversation, there is some amount of interest, but to date, no action.
And we don't own that, like.
No, I know, but I just
Yeah.
thought maybe you heard something or.
That's what we know.
That's what.
That's what we
So
know.
there has been some people that have kind of inquired about that property.
Yes, there
then?
is.
Taxes are being paid on it.
Yep, that's true.
Any idea why they would just walk away and not do like?
It's a large corporation, we don't understand how they
Just a
work.
number.
They've actually requested to have their taxes lowered. They had a tax hearing, a public
Yeah.
tax hearing, and we declined and said no. Okay, so they're choosing to leave the building
Can you
closed.
ever raise their taxes? To make
Sure.
it more comfortable for them to keep it empty?
Well, it's based on their building assessment, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
that's land
Okay.
assessment that does that.
It's like it comes.
we
Yeah,
have
we're
to
not
change the
really in
bill rate
control of
now,
this.
and that
Pass
would
a special
affect everybody,
bylaw.
so.
Could you not pass a special bylaw that if you leave the building empty for a certain period of time, that you're gonna take action to raise those taxes?
Actually, we have that bylaw in place.
But we're,
Not for empty, if we don't pay taxes. I don't think you have to be full.
No, we can't do that.
No, no,
Not for the taxes.
there's
Not
a,
for
no,
taxes.
not for taxes, but for
Yeah.
abandoned buildings.
Oh, that's different. What Ron
Right.
is referring to is that we have a bylaw, so if somebody leaves a building empty, that we can raise their taxes.
No, we
That's-
can't raise the taxes.
It's based on assessment.
No, we
But
can't
I
raise the
say
taxes,
abandoned
but there is a
building
fee
as
schedule.
Yeah, but it's not
in
an
that
abandoned
bylaw.
building.
That was written in 216 or 250.
But this isn't an abandoned building because it's being checked on, it's being monitored, you know,
Yeah,
that
that's
sort of
true.
and
thing.
they're paying taxes.
And they, yeah, so it's,
I think
it doesn't
it's
fall in
vacant.
that category.
No.
We'll take the taxes.
Joy, have you ever seen the vacant building bylaw? Okay. I just,
Is that good?
would Ted have a copy?
That's good for me, yeah.
Ron, anymore?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt like that.
No, no,
That's all right.
it's okay.
Yeah, I just had a question there about the cultural center. As a, person in the media, it's very hard to find any information. Do you have a contact person who I can talk to about that?
Crystal Cole.
Yep.
But wait, do you have anybody else I can talk to?
Diane O'Brien.
Dan O'Brien, okay.
Good luck.
So, is it for artists from what area?
Well, it's, okay, the facility would be located here, and the concept is based on the Banff School of Fine Arts, as well as some other things tied to it. So, if you were to see what it was that they do, they bring artists in from all over the place. They're there. They would be centered here. What happens is it's sort of build it and they will come, that kind of thing, So you can create that. We've got a cultural atmosphere in this community that is far beyond most others. So it seems like the most logical place to place something like that, but it would be for everyone in the north, and it would have a high component of Indigenous partnership for it to go ahead, which would mean the stage would be there for our productions and Indigenous productions as well, or combinations of, as well as, who knows, because when it's in the arts, that's wide open. It just all of a sudden becomes what it becomes. So it's kind of a question is what it could grow into, but we're hoping there's an educational component to it, as well as a financial component that allows people to make a living in the arts.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that 100%. And as Mayor Fontaine said, it's not just an art school. So there'll be an educational art component, but you can also do play. The idea would you could do plays in there. You could make things, create your art. There'll be an economic development component to that. To be an individual art seller of your works, as well as getting educated. Maybe there'll be dorms in there. They have no idea what it's going to look like at this point, and that's the point that the province is giving us money for that. The concept, though, is to bring cultural, arts, which Crystal called creatives, all creatives, together into one building for economic and cultural growth.
It's also possible that it could become an archive of some of the cultural artifacts that have left our community and should come back as is happening around the world. So there's a real, it's kind of quite a wide scope that has to be defined, which is what one of the first steps that's going to happen over the next couple of months. Is there going to be a definition of the scope and the area that's going to be done with that, and then we'll move from there. So that's going to be the first steps. The money is put aside as a planning, and as I said, to see if this whole thing is viable.
Yep.
How did you word that, Allison? To bring all creators into one building for what?
I can't recall exactly.
Sounds pretty good. Anybody know what the last part of that is?
Yeah, ask Casper to post our council meeting quickly, and then you'll be able to read it again, listen to it.
Like Ron and Rob, I can put together a backgrounder for you guys for that as well.
She said that really well. You can't, I just need the last part of it.
I can't remember.
For creators to create, isn't that what you said?
What was that? No?
For creators to
It's
create.
the creatives. I said, I don't know,
The
Casper will
creatives.
give it to them.
I just have one more quick question
You're
on
gonna
that.
learn this about me, Rob. I just gonna
Okay.
ramble.
Okay.
Like you mentioned that over the next couple of months, they're going to see what kind of a concept is, what's going to develop.
Yeah, what do they call what they're doing?
Well, we need a project
It's a
charter.
bit of a feasibility
So,
study, but the whole
originally
thing is a
started with the
feasibility
project
study, but
charter.
they have to do
We
what?
need a project charter.
The project
So-
charter, that's the word, thank you.
And part of that project charter is community engagement, locking down exactly what you want within that building, whether it's a theater, whether it's 10 classrooms, whether it's,
Artist residency.
or
coffee
somewhere to
shop.
make certain things, or is there individual rooms where people can make and sell within it, because we've seen a model like that as well. And then from that project charter, then you hire your major project director, project manager, your engineers to do like the land assessment, and it's just like any large project. It's the same thing we did with the pool,
The idea has been around for a long time.
17 years.
And that's where
Really?
we're at.
So,
17 years people have been talking about it. So we're at
So what we did
ground
is we,
zero for feasibility. Like,
but the question I have then, one last question
Sure.
is, when you're doing that, who's doing that? Who's doing this that you're just talking about?
Okay,
In their
so
couple
the
months?
city of Flin is the project authority, which means we're just accepting the money from the province and spearheading that feasibility project. If you think the Human Rights Museum, for example, in Winnipeg, the foundation and the seed usually starts with the municipality, and then it's passed off to an
Yeah.
independent board and corporation, a nonprofit. And that is the idea of this art center, that the city will help get it off the ground in the project management way of being the project authority, but by all means is not gonna run and own this art center.
Okay, that's good. Thanks.
Yeah, we're just gonna lobby on behalf of the art center to give them that,
And you're doing a good job.
yeah, to give them that step up.
well, we got the,
$500,000.
we got the province on
That's
board.
good.
They like the idea.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people federally who've been approached. They like the idea. Now we want to see their wallets as well, because it's going to take a lot of open wallets for this to get anywhere. So, you know, we're just, right now, it's a bit of pie in the sky, but it's very, very hopeful, and we're not giving up. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.